another video. One of the most defining features of Wings of Fire is how many books it has. We have been so lucky to receive 3 full main series arcs, each composed of 5 novels. And that isn't even counting all the bonus content, like legend stories, winglets, guides, and so much more, as well as what's coming. But among the 3 finished arcs so far, which dragon protagonist has really outshined above the rest? Fanwings everywhere have their own thoughts, and I thought it would be super fun to explore mine with you guys here today. But before we begin, a huge shout out to my patrons. Dev95, Thistle, Nimto, Pyronuke, Everil, Pancake, Escarada, Edequin, Cleaver, Moonclaw, Isaac, Mythras9, Pantala Resident, Horizon the Furwing, Crystal, Phantom the Dragon, TurtleTheSeawing, Wolfyez, Misty, and Newt Spring. Thank you all for supporting me. Links to their social medias are in the description down below. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. Arc 1 is where Wings of Fire as we know it begins. When the Sandwing tribe is left without a clear heir to the throne, 3 princesses duel across kingdoms and decades to grab power. A mysterious prophecy from a faraway group details that 5 heroes will eventually rise to the challenge and crown the next queen, changing the course of Peril forever and restoring true peace. Arc 1's POV dragons are these prophesied dragonettes of destiny. Clay the Mudwing, Tsunami the Seawing, Glory the Rainwing, though she wasn't actually in the seer's words, Starflight the Nightwing, and Sunny the Sandwing, despite her hybrid status being later revealed. Each novel out of the 5 showcases the story from a different character's eyes as we progress from mountain caves to deserts and everything in between. These dragons give us an entirely fresh perspective on all the mysteries and conflict, widening our worldview with them. I think as you're going through Arc 1 for the first time, it's pretty easy to have your favorite DoD be whoever you're currently reading from the voice of. I know I felt that way, until the very end. Because there was just one dragonette whose tale really invested me in a different sort of way. Far more personally and forever. That character is Sunny. I would argue that she was the best and my personal favorite point of view during this war storyline. She wasn't someone I really thought about much while going through the books prior, and that's because most of the other dragonettes didn't really either. I mean, to them, Sunny was just the cheerful, optimistic, and slightly naive younger sister. When you open the page as the brightest night and actually give Sunny the reins her character was far due for, it's electric. Sunny quite literally saves not just the day, but the world. If not for her heroism in the face of tragedy and despair, Peril would have stayed in war. Spoilers for the end of The Dark Secret. When it is revealed to us that the prophecy is fake, our characters are crushed. And well, so are we. It's such a chilling and surprisingly dark end to the 4th novel, leaving readers curious how things are possibly going to change now, and whether these dragons we love could find hope after this. I do understand why they didn't, but Sunny? She rose against the odds. Here are some lines from her during the opening of The Brightest Night. Tsunami wants to believe Moro's here. She's never wanted to fulfill the prophecy. She doesn't understand how important it is. Clay would be just as happy if nobody ever noticed how wonderful he is. Then he could sleep and eat and take care of us instead of fighting. Starfight would love to stop worrying about the prophecy. And Glory has enough to do here now that she's queen. None of them will fight for our destiny. They certainly won't listen to me if I try to explain that Morris here must have been lying. They'll give me that look I always get, the one that says, "Oh, silly little Sunny and her crazy dreams, isn't she cute and harmless?" Everybody underestimated this hybrid dragonette. She could have let it change her, stop her from being who she is, and who she's meant to be. But she didn't. Here's what she says to encourage Peril. You can be whatever you want to be. I mean, I could say, well, I have no barb on my tail. I guess I'm just harmless and useless and should sit in the corner, covering my head whenever there's a fight. But I don't want to be useless, and I'm not going to do that. Not if dragons I care about are in danger. So yeah, even when it's scary and both the world and her very biology seem to say she isn't strong enough, what does Sunny do? She doesn't cower in the rainforest like what could have been easy. She doesn't retreat. No. Even with no one by her side, she marches on after the Nightwings to find a solution when everybody else thinks there isn't one. Because of her, the Eye of Onyx is found and the Sandwings get their true queen. That's why I love Sunny. She's brave. It can be hard to be courageous when everybody else has backed down, but you can't let it stop you from doing the right thing. Making good choices is always our choice. Sunny teaches us that. And I'm so grateful we got her as the end to such a strong story. Arc 2 switched gears and gave us a whole new roster, minus Peril returning in the POV chair this time. When an attempt at launching a school for peace goes awry and the past of Pyria itself is back, a group of misfit students has to choose between what's right versus what's easy. We got so many unique POVs here, but Peril was really the highlight for me. Born with scales too fiery and forced to exist as a living weapon, Peril is ultimately lost following the dethroning of the only dragon she actually had as a mother figure. Peril is so tied to the toxicity of her past, and it doesn't help that so many dragons around her aren't really letting her move on. They're scared of who she is, what she's done, and what she can do. No matter how hard she tries to be better, the 𝙈𝙬𝙬 just feels stuck. I haven't been shy about the fact that Escaping Peril is my favorite WAF novel. The action, characters, humor, charm, and everything else just culminate into something so special to me. You get to see Peril really transform from the effects of obedience to, I won't let you hurt Cliff. I won't let you do any of that to him either. It's not right. He's not your toy. And if you can't earn a dragon's loyalty by being a good queen, then you don't deserve it at all. It isn't easy for Peril to do the right thing, not when she has nearly everything she's ever wanted in front of her. The chance for a normal life, the kind where no one would fear her scales. An existence where she could bring flowers close to her snout to smell, or walk through towns without tucking her wings in. She'd also get to be with her father, and have the simplicity of taking orders from Scarlet like she used to. Not thinking is easy, but it isn't right. Peril is trying to form and identify her identity in Book 8, and I just love it. She does so great of a job of opening herself up to the right kind of love. The kind she feels in a friendship with Turtle, and the type she's starting to give to herself, for example. Peril is messy, but that's okay. She's growing. She's able to find out who she is now. And though it's hard, she saves a lot of dragons by doing it. I have so much respect for this character, and my love for her deepened by exploring the thrilling pages of Escaping Peril. Arc 3 was, again, a total pivot. We find ourselves on the Lost Continent, known by its residents as Pantala. When a war against the trees causes a whole society to be enslaved and no end to a mind control issue in sight, a brave band of rebels must face the odds and the system. However, things take a real turn right toward the end. We change from Pantalan POVs to a Pyrian one, finding ourselves on the other side of the ocean so suddenly. That's where we truly get to meet Queen Snowfall. The new ruler of the Ice Wings has to change, and fast, or else far more than just her kingdom may be at stake. We really do flip from such openly grand stakes to something far more personal, almost like a character study. Snowfall was forced onto the throne far too early when her mother, Queen Glacier, was dying from Darkstalker's spell. When Crystal eventually gone with her lover and Mink far too little to carry the crown, Snowfall was her mom's pick. But there was a lot that had changed with the Ice Wings. After thousands of years of prejudice, both inside their walls and out, the new queen must learn a big lesson. Snowfall deals with the visions of herself in other shoes, or rather, claws, spurring her directly and uncomfortably into the lives of different dragons. She faces some harsh truths about the system she was made to believe in. When all is said and done, she has to make the tough choice of abandoning a corrupt tradition and moving forward, despite the murkiness of new waters. Snowfall is probably my favorite character arc of any dragon in WAF. To see her come full circle and just absolutely evolve in such a beautiful fashion was a delight. The Dangerous Gift was different, yet spoke volumes. It was exactly what was needed, weirdly enough. Not just for Snowfall, but the world as a whole. Even for readers. Snowfall is one of my favorite characters in this series, and Book 14 will go down as wholly memorable for me in all my days. She's so realistic and just alive. Complicated like all of us, but she listens. Arc 4 is already shaping up to be such a thrill ride. Umber was our first POV, and Kinkajou will be our second, but there are many mysteries ahead. Who do you think is the best main character in each arc, and why? Let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!